What is the reason behind that?
So we believe in Islam that God is one, He's independent, there's nothing like Him, right? He doesn't give birth to anybody, or no, somebody gave birth to Him. Right? He's nothing like His creation. That's our concept of God. He's all powerful, all knowing, all wise as well. He's the protector. That's one of the attributes of God. He's the protector. But we believe also that this life is a test. It's a very short period of time that you live here, and every single day is a test. Sometimes you'll be tested with good times, sometimes you'll be tested with bad times. Quran talks, the verse in the Quran says that indeed after hardship comes ease, indeed after hardship comes ease. So as soon as hardship goes, ease will come, eventually hardship will come again, ease comes. That's just a cycle of life from the Islamic perspective, right? So each moment is, if you're going through ease or hardship, right, is an opportunity for you to come closer to God, either to be more grateful for what you have, or thank Him, that He's protected you from other things as well, right? Now, the Palestinian people believe that God is the protector, because we believe that this life is a test. On the Day of Judgment, they'll have their retribution, right? And they understand, right, that that they will have their justice on the Day of Judgment, but they also understand that this life is a test, and that's a test that God has given them, and depending on how they go through it, Allah will reward them for what they have done, right? And that's why we believe God is the protector. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Yes.
So Islam is a very beautiful faith because it promotes you to come closer to God and to become a more pure version of yourself, right? So Islam says no alcohol, no gambling, respect your parents, respect your neighbors, right? Honor every human being, right? Because in the Quran it says وَلَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ, we honored the children of Adam, right? So meaning that every human being has honor by default. So as a Muslim, I have to honor everybody. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
So this book here goes a bit about Islam. You can have a read of it.
No, thanks, sir.
Are you sure? Do you have an open mind?
I mean, mine is open, but at the moment it's very, very static in what's happening.
You're in Palestine?
No, I'm not in Palestine.
Oh.
It's not my personal life.
Okay.
But what's happening in Palestine is bang out of order.
Yeah.
In my own personal opinion. Israelis are big. The Israelis are behaving like the Nazis did during the Second World War.
100%.
And that to me is bang out of order.
100%. But there's always like a purpose for life.
Yeah.
Some philosophy, there's always been opposing opinions on the question of purpose of life. This is a philosophical question, right? So the philosopher called Ludwig Wittgenstein said that I don't know the purpose of life, but I know. Yeah, you can.
Thank you, boss. God bless you.
God bless you as well, my friend.
Keep up the good work there.
I appreciate
Thank you.
it. Ludwig Wittgenstein, he said that I don't know the purpose of life, but I know it's not to have fun because there's so many hardships in life. Therefore, he came to the conclusion it's not that the purpose of life isn't to have fun. Another person who was a Nobel Peace Prize winner called Albert Camus. I'm not sure if you heard of him. Okay. He said that basically his philosophy was that you should live life, enjoy it, do as much as you wish, but the truth of, let's say, your existence doesn't really matter. You should just do as you wish, and basically like a liberal concept, right? Now you have two sides opposing different arguments, different perspectives. Therefore, somebody who wants to know which one is right or wrong needs to ask the question: is the purpose of life? What is the purpose of life? Is that a reasonable question? Is it a reasonable question to ask?
It is.
It is, right? Because, for example, your clothes, right? What was the purpose of you wearing your clothes today?
Carrying stuff.
Yeah, gardening, carrying stuff, to cover your nakedness, to keep you warm, make yourself aesthetically pleasing. These are some of the purposes of why you wear clothes, right? So if something that has no mental or emotional ability, like your clothes, has a purpose, then how can the human being not have a purpose, right? So therefore, Islam approaches that. What is the purpose of your life, and it addresses those questions. Therefore, it gives stability and regularity to your, your conscience about what life is about. So that
I always say life is too short.
It's very short.
Enjoy it while you can.
100%.
And as you get older, do things while you're younger. Because as you get older, might not be able to do things.
Yeah. Right. You know, death is inevitable. Everybody's going to taste it. Right?
Yeah, there's two things in it: so being born and dying.
Yeah. And no one will disagree on that.
No.
Right? That's what the Quran. Everybody agrees on one point, and that is death. Everybody will taste death. Right? So we're saying that, you know, if Islam says that there's a life after death. Okay, no problem. You believe in it or don't believe in it. Right? What are the foundations of Islam, meaning the concept of one God, right? The Quran, right? Are they falsifiable? Or, you know, if they are not falsifiable, and what it says therefore about the life after death, right? That by, let's say, necessity is true. For example, if my foundations in the Quran are correct, right? Therefore, whatever it does say, I will take its word for it. I believe that this universe could not pop out of nowhere. You know, randomness and chance can't give rise to complexity and order. Right? For example, sorry, do you want to put it down?
No, that's all right.
Right. In the universe, we have order, stability, and regularity. There's a certain system that everything follows to. There's certain constants at play that keep the universe the way it is. For example, the electromagnetic force constant keeps shapes in the way they are due to the electrons that are in orbit of the shells of atoms. Right? Basically, it keeps shapes in the way they are. Right? Gravity is a constant. There's a certain level that gravity is at. If it was slightly higher or lower, it would either float or it would be crushed on the ground. For example, Jupiter's gravity is far more than Earth's. So if you were to land on Jupiter, it would just be squished, right? So, and about the Earth, in relation to the distance with the Sun, is like a certain, they call it the Goldilocks zone for Earth to be in, for life to exist, right? So we say that there's certain constants at play, and order and stability and regularity can't come from chance, because you can't get something that is non-rational to give rise to something that is rational. Therefore, we say that something had to implement those things in place for those laws to exist. So that's why I believe that the universe didn't pop out of nowhere. Something had to create something. You can't get nothing. You can't get something from nothing. So that's why we believe in the concept of an independent being given rise to the universe. And therefore, we believe the Quran is our last and final message. Alongside, you know, like Abraham, Moses, Jesus, they would be given revelation in their language in their lifetime, but it wasn't preserved. That's why the Quran came again to establish those past teachings. So if those foundations make sense, therefore whatever the Quran says, then I believe. If that makes sense, right? Does that make logical sense?
It makes sense.
Yeah. So, you know, like I would say, right, Islam is a very logical faith. It's a very beautiful faith, right? Something that people should open their eyes to, because there's so many systems with Islam that brings justice into society. I truly believe that if Islam is implemented in modern day UK, you would have no crime in this country. Domestic violence would not be a problem, right? Abuse amongst relationships would not be a problem, just because of the ideas like no alcohol, no gambling, right? Just removes those issues from the get-go. So I always recommend people to open their eyes to Islam. But once you've done your research in it, you don't believe it, and you do believe it, no problem. And the Quran says, those who want to believe can believe, those who want to disbelieve can disbelieve, right? But I would say, have a look into it. Right? It's a beautiful faith. You know what? I'll give you this. It's a YouTube channel called Merciful Servant. You can have a look at that when you get home tonight.
Yeah, we'll do. Cheers, sir.
It was lovely meeting you as well. Take care.
You too.
You too as well.